Never chase for your ex's attention. Do this instead. That is exactly what this video is going to be talking about. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play hard to get, without having to play mind games, and without having to pretend to be someone or something other than who you are. And if you agree with me, and if you want to help a guy out with his YouTube channel, please hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, and be sure to subscribe to the channel down below as well too, so that you can get notified when we upload and publish new videos. Also, if you are interested in working with us in a deeper sort of way, we do have a survey that you can go ahead and fill out. It's right down below in the description area for this video. We have a variety of different sorts of services and different levels that you can work with us at for different outcomes and such. So if you're interested, fill it out, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. So I think that most people going through a breakup already understand that you're not supposed to beg or plead or apologize a million times or any of that stuff. I mean, I think many of us have gone through that experience of doing that. We've gone there, we've done that. We already know that it doesn't work. But I also have worked with many people who get in this sort of chasing habit. That is to say, you know, maybe them and their ex are interacting in some capacity, but then their ex kind of goes quiet, falls off, pulls back a little bit, for any number of reasons. It could be related to what's happening between the two of them. It could be related to something else entirely. And then this other person is so hungry for a connection with their ex that they'll then start chasing their ex. They'll then start going into these sorts of reactionary kind of behaviors, you know, just like texting them very frequently, apologizing, overanalyzing, wondering if there's something that they did wrong, all of these sorts of things. And this is not helpful. And the reason why it's not helpful is not because of this sort of like power play kind of thing that you may have heard from other YouTube channels or other videos or other places on the internet. Because relationships really aren't about power unless you have some like serious, you know, twisted mental problems or something like that. Relationships are simply about two people connecting. But if you go into this chasing sort of mode, what it's going to actually do is it's going to kind of make the relationship dynamic kind of lopsided, where, you know, what feels most organic to us, what feels most normal to us, what feels most natural to us is when a relationship or a dynamic has sort of a natural kind of rhythm to it, where one person does one thing, the other person kind of goes up and meets them, then maybe they push it a little bit, and the other person comes up and meets them, and it's just this sort of like, okay, we're kind of keeping pace with one another. But what can end up happening is when, you know, one person is just non-communicative for one reason or another, and the other person just starts to overinvest, just starts to pour in investment into that dynamic, just saying like, hey, how are you? Hey, I haven't heard back from you from yesterday. What's going on? Hey, did I say something to upset you? All of that sort of stuff. And they're not getting much back. Then it just starts to feel a little bit strange, okay? Not because of some sort of power imbalance, but it starts to feel a little bit strange because the social dynamic instead is starting to become imbalanced, where there's a difference in the level of investment. And so what we want to do in this sort of situation is, you know, we want to invite our ex or our partner to kind of come forward and say what's happening. Because, you know, again, we don't know. We don't know why, you know, maybe they pulled away, why they're not talking to us, why they are non-responsive or whatever. We don't know. We can guess. We can say, okay, maybe it was that conversation that we had and we got into that argument. Maybe that, you know, little joke that you told was a little bit too much. Maybe it touched on a sensitive nerve. I don't know. Maybe something else entirely different happened. Maybe they had to go take a loved one to the hospital. Maybe they, you know, forgot their phone at home. Maybe their phone was lost or stolen. Maybe, you know, any number of things could happen. But the point here isn't to just sit around ruminating and analyzing and continuing to overinvest, even if we're not, you know, talking to them. You know, if you can still overinvest by going into analysis mode, it's still going to come across in some other way when you're actually interacting with them. So what we want to do is we want to just simply turn it back to them, because again, we can ruminate all we want. We can guess, we can analyze, we can speculate. You know, you could even work with a coach and the two of you could analyze and speculate together. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be very useful, because you don't know really why it's happening. Your coach probably doesn't know why it's happening. They can guess, but they probably don't know for certain. But the only person that actually does know for certain is your ex. So let's just turn it back to them and give them the opportunity to say, hey, yeah, sorry I didn't get back to you. I got really busy with work. This really stressful thing came over. My parents came by unexpectedly and I had to take care of them. You know, so-and-so needed to go to the hospital. And so I had to, you know, drop everything and take them there. You know, sorry, my phone got stolen, you know, whatever. All of these sorts of things can happen. And so what we need to do is we just need to turn it back to them and give them the opportunity to step forward and interact with us and tell us what's going on. Now, if you still don't hear back from them after that, if they're still kind of, you know, non-responsive or not really opening up to you or not really giving it to you straight, what you want to do is you want to run a pattern that we call the one-way spikes of doom, where basically you're just kind of reluctantly going along with what it seems like they want. And what you're doing is you're kind of slowly steering away so that you're kind of decreasing your level of investment and giving them the opportunity to step forward and let you know what's going on or to re-engage with you when they're ready. But you're also kind of reluctantly going along and letting them experience the consequences of their choice to not fully engage with you. That is to say, you're removing any sort of positive experience that they might have from engaging with you. And you're saying like, okay, hey, if this is really what you want, if you really don't want to interact with me, if you really don't want to talk to me, if you're really not comfortable talking right now, that's okay. I'll just step back, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And you're kind of turning it back on them, leaving it in their responsibility to kind of take things moving forward, because that's going to empower them to take that step forward. That's going to empower them to, you know, start to actually say, okay, I actually feel ready to do this. This is something that I can do, and then I can go ahead and move things forward from there. But you know, that's a strategy from our course called Effortless Connection, by the way. All that's down below if you want to check that out. But that's what you really want to do when your ex is kind of pulling away, when you kind of feel that urge to go into that chasing mode. You don't want to do it because it's just going to imbalance the social dynamic, and it's going to make things feel really strained, really forced, really awkward, and it's going to really not help you out. I know that a lot of people know this on an instinctive level, but oftentimes when you're caught in the heat of the moment, you know, you just kind of might go into this panic mode. You might kind of let your anxiety get the best of you, or whatever the case may be. And so that's why it's important to recognize that this is happening, recognize how this is going to unfold if you keep doing it, and to, of course, you know, stop doing what's not working and, you know, start doing what would work, like turning this back on them, using one-way spikes or something along those lines. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. Once again, if you do want to work with us in a deeper sort of way, we do have that survey. You can go ahead and fill it out down below, and you know, we'll see what might make sense for how we can help each other out and how we can work together. But if you did like this video, please help me out with my YouTube channel. It just takes a second and it costs you absolutely nothing. But hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel down below. And if you do want to know more about what your ex is thinking, we do have a video playlist on exactly that topic. You can check it out right over here, or you might want to check out this video over here. Thank you so much. Please take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video.